Our word in this video is route or route. It can be pronounced either way, and we'll talk about each of those. First of all, let's do the syllables. This one has 3 vowels, but it is only 1 syllable. And let me tell you a little bit about that. The E is silent. We don't hear the E. And the O and the U are stuck together. They're functioning as 1 vowel. And this can be pronounced as route, or you can pronounce it as route. Route or route. And let's jump to our picture. Actually, let me give you the definition before we jump to our picture. The definition of a route or a route is a specific pathway I just forgot the vowel. Pathway from one point to another. Whether you call it a route or a route, it is a specific pathway from one point to another. And let's take a look at our picture. This will help us tremendously. I am going to color my pictures a little bit so that we can, if I just say house, you're not going to know which house I'm talking about. So let's do red and green, if it will allow me to. And so far it isn't. Here we go. So we have a red house and a green house, and the area between them in yellow is the route. So the route or the route is this yellow part. So let's think about this. If I want to go from the green house to the red house, there's only one way to do this. If I go this way and turn left, I'm going in the wrong direction. If I go to this intersection and turn right, I lost my pointer, I turn too soon, going the wrong way. So I have to go through the first intersection, turn right at the second intersection to get to my destination. That is the route or the route from point 1 to point 2. I can also go back along that route to get back to my starting point. The route is the yellow part. It's the specific pathway from one point to another. It is a noun. It's a thing. It's something I can see on a map. A synonym would be path or pathway. We already used that one up there, but that could be one. An antonym for a route could be a detour. A detour is a turn that takes you away from your route. So, for example, let's say in our picture here that there was an accident right here. Okay, so I can't pass through there. A detour would mean that I would have to go a different way. Maybe I could come in this way if there's a road there. Or perhaps I could come in this way if there is a road there. But a detour is the opposite of what I want to do. So a route is the direct pathway. A detour is a different way. This one does have homophones. And before I tell you what those are, I want to tell you what that means. So remember, whenever you see homo, and I'm going to try to highlight that if the iPad will cooperate. Homo means same, wherever you see it. It's very common in science. Phone in science means sound. So a homophone is a word that sounds the same but is spelled differently. Homophone is same sound. So let's suppose that we pronounce our word as route. Okay, we know that our route is a pathway. It sounds like root that belongs on a plant. So those are homophones, root and root. If you pronounce our word as route, which I tend to do, this is the pathway. There is a verb spelled R-O-U-T that means to defeat severely. So, for example, our football team recently played a game where they won by 71-0. The other team didn't even score a point. That was a rout. It was a severe loss. If you lose by 1 point, that's not a rout. If you lose by 100 points in football, that's a rout. So depending on how you pronounce our word, you do have homophones for that word. So the thing I want you to know about R-O-U-T-E, it can be pronounced two ways. It can be pronounced as root or as route. Because remember, the E on our word is silent. Root or route is correct. I tend to say route, but either is acceptable. So you can fold that one up and glue it underneath pictograph.